Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not inflated. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, and for you freaky motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. On today's episode, we're taking a little trip on our favorite rocket ship, with the little Einsteins and whatnot. Let me stop. We are talking about Planned Parenthood, not necessarily. Well, we will be talking about the organization this episode, but usually in this topic, it's just about parenthood in general and planning for your parent, like to become a parent, and all the things that the organization itself deals with, like abortion, sex education, gender affirming care, all the things, counseling that they provide. But essentially, today we will actually be talking about the organization itself, which is a little bit new, but not too new because look, it's Planned Parenthood. Anyways, I haven't even introduced who the fuck is on this episode with me. I have Luke is returning, everyone. So if you have not listened to those episodes with him before, just go back and listen to them. They're up, they're out there. Listen to all the episodes. Go back to season one, catch up, and come. Like, if you missed November last year, what the fuck are you doing? I'm sorry, Lucas. How are you doing today? I'm being rude.
I'm good. I'm good.
That's good. That's good to hear. So, are you feeling happy about this conversation that we're about to have today?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's an important subject.
I agree. I definitely agree. As some people will already recognize by however the hell I just introduced this damn episode, they're just like, okay, Vernon, get to the damn topic itself. I'm here now. You have to go on like a complete loop and find your way coming back, a good 360. This is off topic. Um, we haven't even started that real conversation, but how do you feel when people just be like, because sometimes people just like, oh, I made a 180, I made a 360. Um, how do you feel when people say, "Oh, I made a full 360"? Are you one of those people who's just like, "But that's a circle. You're pretty much where you left off," or do you see it completely different?
Oh, my urge right now is to say 360. That's it. I did a 1080.
I fucked with it. But I remember in math, I feel like those people who just say, "Oh, you just made a full circle, you're exactly where you left off," are those same people who don't know what the math behind a 360 is. And that's not me to judge those people, because a lot of people suck at math, and it's not my fault that they suck. It's their fault, and also their education system. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. Go back and go back and learn your math, people. It's important.
Has something to do with pi. I know
Yeah. So
that.
essentially, whenever a person makes a 360, yes, in terms of a circle, you're essentially back where you started from, but you're not. Like you just turned around. But if you continue to go, you don't go back to zero. If you make another 360, now you're at what, 720? If you make another one, it just keeps building up more and more and more that you turn. So saying I made a full 360, yeah, you may be pointing yourself in the same direction, but you're on a different level. You're on a different plane, a different state of being. You've learned some things, you've improved yourself. You're not back at zero. So it's okay, people. Let people say I made a 360. Okay. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, in this topic, so you yourself have experience with utilizing the services at Planned Parenthood, correct?
Yes.
How was that experience for you? What did you learn, and what makes it so important to you that Planned Parenthood does continue, throughout our country and whatnot, and across the globe too, because they do have like spots everywhere.
Well, first, Planned Parenthood is important because they provide testing and um, condoms and whatnot if you can't afford them, which is the two reasons I've used Planned Parenthood. They also help if you're got like pregnant. Pretty sure they'll give you like prenatal medicines and things like that too. And then they'll educate. They actually are part of the people. Like when we did sex ed in school, Planned Parenthood came as part of it.
Mm. See, that's something that we don't necessarily, well, we don't have that level of Planned Parenthood involvement in sex education here, which is very unfortunate. Like, we do need comprehensive sex education across the board. But I did want to go back on the free condom thing because and testing. Like I've had to have like the conversation about testing so much within the last week and a half that it's ridiculous. And it's a lot of people who uh, wanted to like engage with sex with me, and they're just like, oh, I only do raw. And I'm just like, I don't. If we're not in a relationship, it's not going to happen. And then they'll mention, oh, but I'm clean, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's cool and all. But at the same time, I don't know you. I don't know exactly your testing regimen. I don't know exactly what you have been tested for. Like a lot of people just, most definitely within the queer community, only do HIV testing and think that's it. Like I get going every 3 months for your HIV screening, and most definitely for those who are on PrEP, wonderful. But within that 3 months, there's so much that can happen in terms of other STIs that you can catch. Like some of them only takes like 2 weeks or even a month for symptoms to show or for you to have the infection, but you're still waiting another 2 months or so before you get another test. And even when you do go get those tests, you're not including the full panel. It's just HIV. So it's very, very annoying. So for yourself, when you were engaging in with Planned Parenthood to get your condoms, also condoms are expensive these days too. Oh my God. But
Right.
when you were engaging with them to get your condoms and do your testing, did you do like a full panel or was it mostly just HIV?
Well, when I was younger, it was when I was in high school that I did the condoms. Me and my boyfriend at the time walked in there holding hands and asked for a bag of condoms. I thought it was
Oh,
hilarious.
that's
And
cute.
then we never actually ended up using them though.
Well,
But
hey. Mhm.
and then but when I go in for testing, I have them test for everything that they want. I don't limit tests because that's weird.
Not as weird, but I kind of agree. Like, there's just so much out here. Now, like, this is not, to shame or say, oh, don't have raw sex. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just be responsible with it. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
Like, um,
know what's going on in your body.
Exactly. Like, let's not have any surprises. Like, I even had a conversation with someone last night, actually, and they were just like, "Well, I do this. I'm not out here sleeping with everybody, blah blah blah," which made me realize that I offended them by telling them like I just don't fool around with a lot of people and risk having sex without a condom. But I realized that they took offense because of that statement. And I'm like, it's not about you. This is something that is mostly about me and my preference here. On top of that, I want to ensure that for a relationship that I'm actually pursuing, that I don't have to come to this individual and let them know, hey, I've been out in these streets and I've engaged in raw sex, and now this is something that happened. And now I have to have a conversation with them to see if they're still interested in dating me because I'm out here being irresponsible with my own sexual health because other people want to pressure me into doing things that I am not comfortable with. Like, that's the thing. It's annoying. It's so annoying.
I agree.
So another thing, just going back on to the maternity health, I think a lot of people do not realize that they do provide that service for a lot of people, even breast cancer screenings. Like, Planned Parenthood does a lot of shit. Like, you would think that, oh, it's only about parenting services, but no, they do breast cancer screenings and they educate people on these things. So,
I found
like,
out
hmm
I found out the other day that they at one point supported forced eugenics as well.
wait, they supported forced what?
Eugenics, like forced sterilization.
What?
Yeah, back in like the 60s and 70s.
I'm not surprised. Most things in this country has a little bit of racism in it, and that is all
Right.
eugenicists. But like,
Yeah,
I
it
cannot.
was always
Mhm.
it always targeted Asian people, black people, gay people, disabled people,
Like,
anybody who wasn't a white male,
that's the thing
white
that
straight
is
male.
That's the thing that is very interesting. Like, I when it comes to like a lot of the racism that we have to like see throughout our society on a regular basis, I'm just like, what is the end goal here? Like, what is the end goal that you feel superior to other people, but at the same time, you want to kill off these people, but you still want to embrace all of their culture, and you do like the diversity and the difference that these cultures bring to your society and whatnot and your lived experience, but at the end of the day you still don't want them here. What?
The way you described that made me think it's a mix between apartheid and Rwanda.
Look, it's just so I'm like, I cannot, I do not see the purpose of being like all Mexicans need to go back home. Granted, like, most of what the US is technically like the people who are descendants of the US are the Americans, the North America. This is their home. Like, you have Native Americans, you have Mexico. Like, I had to tell my brother that when it came to like people crossing the border in California and Texas and all this shit, I'm like, but most of that was already Mexico before, some wars happened. So they're actually returning home. So what? Like,
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but it was some comedian or something. They said something to the effect of, we call Native Americans when they're the real Americans. We should be calling ourselves the unwanted Americans.
right? Because
Something
it's
along
like,
those lines.
because my in that conversation with my brother, he asked me why I kept saying US citizens and not just Americans. And I was like, because there's two America. There's North America, South America, and if you want to even go with three, Central America. All this
Yeah,
can be considered American. We're US citizens. We're not Americans. The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression.
When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Soliloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Soliloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
Central America. All this can be
Yeah.
considered American. We're U.S. citizens. We're not Americans. We're just not. Like, I'm a descendant of enslaved people from Africa. So, like, I was born here in the Americas, but I'm not necessarily an American. I'm a US citizen, but like I can accept that. Like whenever I see, oh, Americans this, Americans that, you're not American. Speaking of people who are Mexican, you're not American, but they're descendants of the people who are originally from this continent. How
Right.
they're less American than you are. They got the rights to that.
You're right. At least they should.
Right. But
But, you know, white America.
it's annoying. But I again, I just don't get how it's like go back to your country, but I want your food. Like what? But anyways, Planned Parenthood. But do you
we're at a 780 or 720 or whatever now.
look, we're making resolution not resolutions, revolutions. That's what the thing's called. Oh God. I'm still too close
Talking
to the
about the
New Year.
Matrix now.
Oh my God. Not the Matrix, bitch. Oh my
I'm trying to get
God.
us off track again.
Yes, you are, because that triggered a memory of a conversation I had with my aunt when she kept saying, "Oh, we're trapped in the Matrix," and I'm like, "Okay, that's fine and all, but you still listen to corporate media, like you still believe all this stuff, and you think that I'm like, I love you, I definitely love you, but are you sure I'm the one that's stuck in the Matrix, or is it just you? Like, it's okay if you believe that we're trapped in a computer program. That's great. I just need somebody to hack this shit because I'm tired.
We need our version of a Trinity.
Look, please hack the shit. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with living in whatever that little city was that was under the ground. I'm okay with it as long as I know whatever the fuck. Actually, hold up.
Atlantis.
Oh, I am here for Atlantis, but if you had the choice, this is going to. Have you seen the fourth movie?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, so would you choose to stay within the Matrix or go on the outside if you really had a choice in the matter?
Oh, that's a good question. It depends on the win-loss ratio, I guess. 'Cause there'd be benefits to do both, I would
So I would say like
imagine. My
if
story ain't the same as Neo's.
exactly. That's the other part. Like my thing is if it was a pleasurable life, a pleasurable lived experience that I'm going through, that I don't have to worry about struggle every fucking day, then or where my next meal is going to come from, all these things, I would actually choose to live in the Matrix. However, if like what we experience on a daily basis of murder, 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 death, death, death. And me exiting that will expose me to a lot less of that, then bring a motherfucker, beam me up, Scotty. That's all I'm saying. I would love it. I know I'm going to have to like murk a motherfucker or kill a little bit of people, just not people, little machines in order for me to get to this place and just be in a secure area and feel a little bit safe and breathe semi fresh air. I'm okay with it. Take me out. It's just the difference between constant exposure to death versus having peace of mind. I would choose peace of mind every single time.
I know what my deciding factor is now.
Mm,
Which life gives me the best day?
I'm done. But I support that. I truly support that. Like, there's no need to be stuck in a damn matrix with nothing but mediocre dick. No. No. Oh my God. That's depressing. Again, somebody hacked this motherfucker system. Deliver the good shit. That's all. That's all. I need that up, down, left, right, triangle, triangle, square combo cheat code. That's all I'm saying.
It was that ammunition too.
I think so. Oh God. All right. So Planned Parenthood. We're supposed
Yeah,
to be
that
talking about that.
1080.
What did I even leave off on? Oh, so they definitely do a lot for women's health. And the crazy thing that many do not recognize that they do things for men's health too. They do things for the people. Like they ensure that even I think they do cancer screenings for testicular cancer, but don't quote me on that. I need to like look into that again. But they do focus on men's health in some portion too. So it's like they provide so much shit that people need, but here we are, and people just think they only deal with abortions.
Yeah, the Planned Parenthood where I'm from wasn't even like an abortion clinic. The closest one to where I was Moe's Lake, which was like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive
Hmm.
away.
You know, there used to be one here, and this was some years ago, and I didn't even know that it existed until I was doing some research, because I wanted to work for Planned Parenthood at one point, but mostly, focus on rape culture and shit like that, but they didn't have that position open. I don't think they even have anything related to that anyways, but I was looking into some of the offices here in Georgia, and yeah, they used to have one here, but it's gone. And I think they have one in Savannah and Atlanta now only. And I think the one in Atlanta is the only one that does abortions.
So there's no Planned Parenthood in Augusta?
Nope.
That's weird.
Now there there is a women's health clinic here, but that's about it. Of course, I would say
Like
like
Planned Parenthood poser.
right. I will say that like as an area for health, Augusta is a good place to be. It really is. Like we have the number one burn center in the state that's here. So if you're out here in a fire or something, or have to deal with some type of third degree burns, you will end up here. We also have the number one heart care center here. Is it still number one? It used to be number one. If it's not number one still, we need to talk about that. But yeah, like here, you can get you could get your health taken care of. We have a med school here, so dental school. I don't know if we have a nursing school. It'd be great if we did. If we didn't, so it's a good place to be. It's a really good place to be.
By the way, for reference for the listeners, I'm from Washington State.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
anything I talk about is referring to my experiences there.
Mm. So, speaking of your experiences there, because we were talking about our differences in sex education at one point, and you also mentioned it here that you did get your sex ed from Planned Parenthood. So, overall, what kind of things did you learn from them during your process of gaining that education from them? Most definitely when it comes to like queer behavior, queer sexuality, and all those other intersections of our lives.
Well, the actual health teacher was lesbian, so there was a layer of that. Like she always insisted on not labeling yourself as gay or straight at that age because this was junior high.
Hmm.
So, and where I'm from, there's a middle school and a junior high. So it's weird, but it was like ninth grade, I think.
Mhm.
And so she's like, things can change, interests change, so you shouldn't be labeling yourself as gay or straight at this age. Is how she described it. But she like when things would come up, like we did this briefly. It was probably like 10, 15 minutes, but we did briefly discuss anal sex. And like they showed us pictures of penises with STDs and I don't know to scare us, I
Mhm.
guess. But yeah, it was I think probably a fairly decent education overall.
Well, I think well, not I think I know. I love that your health teacher decided to have that conversation of not labeling yourselves, because I see a lot of that happening, and not necessarily from like the students or the younger people in the room, but it's often like their parents or their adult friends that label a child as being something that they may not even be. Like I remember hearing, when I was growing up, older adults talking about, oh, that person's gay, that kid's a lesbian, oh, she's just a tomboy, oh, he's a tom girl. All these random as comments about these about children, including myself, but it's like I'm still a child. I don't know what life is. Like I'm here at 10 years old and I know what gay people is and how that is supposed to be very disgusting and whatnot, and I shouldn't be gay and all these things. But yet you still have these adults saying, "Oh, but that's what you are." So you're saying that I'm supposed to not like what is going on? You're saying that I'm gay, or you're saying that I'm this, that, and the third, but it's also you're saying that I shouldn't be that. So who am I? Like what can I do to be a sane person? Like
Yeah.
I don't know
At
where to be.
at 10, I definitely knew I was gay, but I had that. I was going through that long internal struggle of
Hmm.
like everything involved. It's a difficult subject.
Yeah.
Cover everything.
And and this also brings up that concept of, you know, kids who happen to be trans. And I get the viewpoint of a lot of like the conservative people out there who think, oh, the kid doesn't really know who they are, blah, 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 blah. How dare you put them on these drugs, this, that, and the third. But the thing is that the view itself comes from a place of ignorance. Because, like you said, when you were 10, you knew exactly that you were gay and whatnot. And I think a lot of young people start to develop their sense of identity. Well, we start developing our sense of identity a lot younger than that, anyways. But like in terms of our sexuality, our gender, and things like that, we start to become accustomed to who we want to be, who we think we are, and who we need ourselves to be at a very young age. And when it comes to like those kids who may have some type of gender dysphoria or even some type of hold up, I don't feel right in this body situation. These young people are dealing with that on a regular basis. And whenever they do sit down with like a therapist and communicate and articulate that why they feel certain type of ways, why do they feel as though what was assigned at birth is not matching who they are, diving deep into that. We, as like outside people, cannot say that the child doesn't know because they have their struggles. They have to deal with the internal monologue of who am I on a regular basis, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, when I was a cashier at Walmart, there was a couple times where a customer would say something vaguely homophobic and there was a kid around. And that was the only time I ever actually said anything because I'm an
Mm.
adult and I can deal with it. But a kid, you never know what's going on with them. So I would say to the customer, I'm like, it's okay to have your opinions, but be careful of who's around when you say it,
Hmm.
because if a child is, they're going to hear it and remember.
That's very true. And I hate that a lot of people do have to grow up with some type of insecurity about who they are.
Hmm.
Like, there's not too many people that I've come across who've been confident in their identity throughout their entire life. And I think that's a
There,
problem.
yeah, there's a kid. My nephew was going to school with him a couple years ago, at least. And he was because they're in middle school, the same middle school I went to, but they're in middle school, and he was the only gay kid,
Mm.
and so like everybody wanted to hang out with him because he was the gay kid. So they're like, "Ooh, let's be friends because you're different, so you're gonna be cool," which is usually true, but not always.
The gay kid's cool kid. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah. There's the worst reasons to be popular are like coming from money.
Mm, mm. But like, even with, people at such, a young age, it's that freedom of choosing who to be that
Yeah,
a lot of people don't give others the option to do. Because I have friends who are trans, who've had their own identity crises where either they, you know would, one day they're just like, this is who I am, this is who I identify as, and not 3 months to a year later, it's like, I don't know anymore. I don't know who exactly I am. And of course, like, even when it comes to, like, well, the person I'm actually thinking of right now, they were right back to, okay, yeah, I was just going through some things, a lot of bullying and whatnot. But hold up, I know who I am. I always knew who I was. But, anyways, but like, when it comes to those identity crises, um, it's a lot for young people to deal with, older adults to deal with, because it's like, you really do have to capture the essence of who you are, be it someone who's been on this earth for 35 years, or even somebody who's been on this earth for 15 years. You have to capture all that time in the span of one moment to figure out, hold up, who am I? And hope that the person that you wake up as the next day is still just as comfortable with who you were the other day. Like, it's a lot for us to deal with.
yeah, that's true.
And I think that's another reason why I don't like labels, is because the label themselves puts you in a box that, because we're so focused on identity as a society, that we brand it, that we say, oh, if you're gay, that means you have to love the rainbow flag, you have to be all kinds of sex positive, you're supposed to be extremely sexual, you're supposed to, yes, queen, and all this other shit. Be a little bit more effeminate than the bare minimum of masculinity. Well, the maximum of masculinity. Like, you should be a little feminine within you, to be within that, spectrum. But that's not true. That's just not the reality. Wherever you fall as a queer person, you have subsets of your identity that's not going to match what the brand wants you to be. Like, personally, I don't like the rainbow flag. Actually, I used to have nightmares every time I drew a rainbow as a child. Literally every single time. I used to hate assignments that I around St. Patrick's Day, because I will end up having to draw a rainbow. 2 days, actually, that night, I have a nightmare. And it's always the same recurring nightmare every time I drew a rainbow, that I was just like, I fucking hate rainbows, and still do. But like, that's a part of the brand, but that's not a part of my identity.
Yeah,
It's just, I hate it. I do hate the box that a lot of people are placed in this society. It's ridiculous.
yeah. No one wants to be a square.
Nobody wants to be a square or a cube. Actually, I might be okay with a cube because a cube got some dimensions on it, bitch. That's open me up. I got even more to let you see. But yeah, nobody wants to be a square. Ooh. Okay, since nobody wants to be a square, are you okay with being a circle?
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
I just wanted to ask because look, we're doing 360, 720s and more, like
I think
1080s.
we're up to 1440 now.
Oh, look at that. Progress.
I think that's four. I could be off on the
We might be a whole spiral by the end of the day. Look at God. That's how you elevate people. Don't be a sphere, be a spiral.
Right.
Oh God. All right. I think that was. Mm, do you have anything else you want to add about Planned Parenthood that you need to get off your chest or whatnot?
I don't think so. I had thought about well, as we were talking, I had thought about when I realized I was gay, and the first time I realized how gay I look.
Like how gay you looked?
Yeah, it was in PE class, and I was walking back to the school, and I saw my reflection on the mirror or in the glass door. I was like, "Holy shit, I look
I'm so done.
gay."
So when did you realize how was that experience for you? I feel like I want to yeah, when did you realize that you were gay?
So I don't know exactly how old I was, 6, 7, or 8. I was at my Aunt Karen's.
Always a
Um,
Karen. I'm joking.
yeah,
I know your aunt Karen is actually pretty cool. We like her.
yeah, yeah. She was cool. She passed away in 2000, but this was before that, obviously.
Hmm.
So her daughter is lesbian, and so I saw a picture of a family picture up on there above the thing with their Russian doll nest and all of their weird trinkets. It was just a family picture of my aunt, my uncle, their son and daughter, and then another girl. And I was like, "Is that your son's girlfriend?" And she's like, "No, that's my daughter's girl." I'm like, "Girls can have girlfriends?" And it kind of went from there for a few minutes until I learned exactly what lesbian and gay was. And at that point, I was like, "Well, that's me." I don't know if I said that out loud or not.
Oh, well, look at that. You saw yourself somewhere else in it. You realize, oh, that's me.
Pretty much.
I would say for myself, I know I was very young when I realized that I was interested in both men and women. I know for the little girls, I guess, I realized that I was into girls when I was like in second or third grade. It might have been second because I just remember my crush. I forgot her name though, like my very first crush. Definitely forgot her name. But I do remember my first um male crush. Actually, yeah, his name was Wendell, and I was like living in Philadelphia at the time. We had a little nice little because he used to spend the night over at our place every now and again, so we had a little relationship. So I had my very first cute little young kid gay relationship when I was like 5 or 6
Oh damn.
months. It was cute. Now think about it. It was like, oh, we even mapped out our future together. That's how cute it was. Just like, okay, so who's going to be the woman in this relationship? Like that kind of shit.
Oh my, that's
But
my one of my favorite questions because I'm always like, we're both guys. That's the point.
exactly. There's like if however, people want to identify their damn relationships, be it a feminine man, masculine man, and y'all just be like, okay, you can be the woman. I don't care, whatever. But for me, I'm just like, if it's a queer relationship, it's a queer relationship. I don't know. There's no man, there's no woman, there's no woman. It's just two motherfuckers enjoying each other. I don't care. Like,
I also like it when they phrase that it's the same question really, but they say, "Are you a pitcher or a catcher?" And I like
exactly.
to say, "I don't play football."
Look, sir, that's baseball.
I know. That's exactly why I say
Okay, as long as you know, because look, we are not.
it.
I know I'm not that great at the sports lingo, but I know that much. I'm not going to let you go down like that. But if you're doing it on purpose, it makes sense. I'm okay with it. Like, no,
I
but
know
like,
the Super Bowl's always in February. I know something.
oh yes, yes, it is. I think it's the first Sunday. It might be
Oh
the
yeah,
second.
I don't know that. I just know it's in February.
Sometimes I'd be like looking at the Super Bowl, like where they're going to be the next year, and just like, is this a city I will visit to be a hoe? If so, I might go to town for the Super Bowl just for that reason. And swipe up someone who's going to pay for my round trip tickets there and back. Like, it was like, for the remainder of all Super Bowls. Like, hey, how you doing? You like paying bills? You look like you do. So, hey.
The sophistication, it's why I've dubbed you Dr.
Look, yes.
Ho.
Oh my gosh, you all. Well, by the time that this actually airs, you will probably see something on my social media profile that shows this wonderful. How do I describe it? I want to say like a name tag, or a door knocker, but I don't know. It's just beautiful. But it has Dr. Ho on it, so yeah, y'all will see. Y'all will love it. If you don't follow me on any of the socials, that's your problem. But oh God, I feel like there was something I did want to bring up earlier, but it's out of my head now. But the crazy thing, when I go back and listen to this episode to make the edits and whatnot, the thought is going to come back and like, oh, you wanted to say this. It always happens.
Yep.
And I'm just like, sometimes I just want to be like, oh, well, everybody, go on like TikTok or some shit, be like, hey, if you listen to this episode around this point here at 31 minutes and 45 seconds, I wanted to add this portion too. And here it is, blah, 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 blah. So, other than that, continue to enjoy the episode. Let me know what you think. I might start doing something like that for real.
I've seen YouTubers actually put something in the middle of their video of them saying shit like that.
Exactly. It's like I didn't even know. I when you get on a roll, or if you go so far down in a tangent that you just forget exactly where you went left, it's over. You have to go through the entire city just to get back. You have to do another 360. And guess what? You're not going to be in the same place that you left.
We're at 1800 now.
Since we are 1800, if you are listening to this episode, you made it this far and you don't have 1800, that would have been a great ass plug. They need to go ahead and advertise, because look, that would have been, because I was going to say just taking you a shot of 1800 tequila, but
Maybe
like,
they'll sponsor this episode.
exactly, they might as well. They're not sponsoring this, but look, the way that played out, they might as well. Just like, oh, Vernon, I heard you on the Soliloquy podcast and you said 1800, bitch, and then you almost had people taking their shots. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and give you a little bit of
Just
coins.
got
Thank
some
you.
more rum. I could take a
Right. You can
shot.
send a couple thou this way. Look, it's okay. We sips 1800s around here. We sips tequila, and let's, okay, since we're trying to get advertisers now. So, listeners, I was in this romantic relationship. It was with this man. a strong man. A lot of you all know this man because this man is fun. Okay. He and I, we've been dating since, I was a little, it was, I guess, 6 months or so after my 21st birthday is when we like met and started to communicate a little bit more, get to know each other. It might have been my 21st birthday, actually. But we really loved each other. We dated for so many years, and actually we kind of still see each other every now and again. I always mingle with him. Like,
Jose is such a great guy.
such a great guy. Like, he just warms me up every time we like see each other. Like, I just, whenever I indulge in his presence, like his taste is just like, he sends me places, and his name is Jose, y'all. Jose Cuervo. Oh my God.
I knew it.
That man. Look, Jose was bae all up until 2021. That's all I'm saying. We had to break up because, look,
It wasn't Jack. It
oh
wasn't that
God,
cracker.
Jack will beat you. Oh my God, Jack is an abuser. That's all I'm saying. But Jack has his honey side, right? And that's that bitch I like. Always. Jack, honey, when Jack is sweet, I appreciate him a lot more. But other than that, he beats you like you some fucking Hennessy. Oh my God. Like, now Henny is definitely an abuser. I don't fuck with her. Oh my God. No, she is, she's strong and hateful. I cannot. But Jose will always have you. I miss our
I,
relationship sometimes, but
I had a
Mhm.
dildo I named Jose once.
Oh my God, this man. Oh my God. Do you still have that, Jose, or no?
I don't think I do.
Mm,
I
mm-mm.
don't think it's one of the ones I brought. I
See,
brought a few, not all of them.
you
I
know,
was more focused on bringing my cups and stuff.
well, since we're talking about dildos, look, if y'all didn't know, by this point, my new the spin-off podcast is out. It's called The Vibrator in My Pod. So go ahead, subscribe to that as well as the Huluku podcast. Of course, some of those episodes will be making its way onto, like bonus episodes under this page for like the next year, just so people know that it exists. But look, make sure you make the time to go over there and subscribe. Like, what's the buzz, bitches? What's the buzz? Might as well plug it. It's so many damn puns. Like, I just said, might as well plug it, and then the next thing I thought of was like a butt plug. Jesus. Anyways, it's all about, it's
Butt
toy
plugs.
reviews. I don't have a butt plug. I should get
I
one because
do.
I've heard like great things. How do you like yours?
It's cool. It's right here.
Do you like leave yours on like leave yours in actually during like work hours or anything, or do you just like every now and again just
I
put it
have when I worked at the hotel back home. I
mm,
did occasionally. But I don't know, it depends. I use it more so for like preparation reasons now.
mm. My only thing, like reason I do not risk something like that is because leave it up to me, I will bend over and it just falls out my pants, and I'm just like, well, here we are. How we doing? Bernard, what is that? What is that? We should have a conversation that's not here. And
Why don't you check out my podcast?
exactly. Feel free to like not ask me what that is. I'm just gonna walk out. I'm sick. Oh my gosh, I just threw up. That's what you just saw. I threw up and it just came out as a black looking butt plug. That's it. It's time for me to go home. Oh, I got the COVID.
I honestly don't know if I'd be like don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, or if I'd actually tell them.
Exactly. Don't. You ask for too many
Because
shits.
I'm not shy. I've overindulged plenty of times.
Oh my gosh, same. Like, I don't know why people think that I'm not going to be truthful. Like, if you really want to know, I will tell you. Mm. Like my coworker, she's such a sweetheart. She's an older lady too. She was just like, well, all people out here doing all kinds of things because we were not talking about sex, but we were kind of talking about sex because we were talking about the podcast, and she just brought up like I don't even know if people these days they do whatever they want to do. Some men are gay, some men are straight, and sometimes you just don't even know. Like I don't even know if you gay or not. You know what? If you are, it's cool. I love you regardless. And she almost asked, but she kept going. I was like, bitch, if you want to know, we can have this conversation today. Like, I love it. I love it. Anyways, I think we definitely left the Planned Parenthood conversation, and I apologize, you all. But
We're just singing Diana Ross now.
look, we definitely
I
are.
said that's so weird.
Like, I love Diana, but I'm an Anita fan, and I might as well say this now too. I will be doing. You might have already heard this too on the podcast, people, because I do the love song dissections. But this year, I'm only focusing on Anita Baker. They're going to be solo episodes, so the other love song dissections will be coming out, during like the regular season stuff, not bonus episodes. But when you see that bonus episode and there's a love song, it's about Anita Baker. Just know that. And it's because I love her. And we caught up in the raptures, bitches. That's all I'm saying. But let's do a would you rather. You ready?
Okay. Okay.
Would you rather be with a lover who has no hair anywhere on their body, well, their head or body, or have one who is excessively hairy everywhere?
Oh, probably no hair.
Hmm. Okay, you naked mole rat.
Not me.
I know. You over here loving Rufus. I'm here for it. Or I forget what they call it. But yeah, you better. For me, I'm just like both of them. I don't like the hair on a person's. Okay, honestly, let me take that back. I might be a little bit creeped out if I did run into somebody who's like completely bald everywhere. Like I'm okay with a bald head.
Oh
Okay
wait, are
with
you
a
talking like
bald.
eyebrows and everything?
Yes.
Oh,
But if you if
that
you if you out here with no eyebrows, I don't want to judge you because I love Whoopi Goldberg. Like, and
that's
she's extremely
true.
beautiful. And I love people who draw on their eyebrows because those things forever be on fleek. But it's just I don't know if it's just completely hairless.
I'm
I
gonna
might end
revert
up
to
getting creeped
my.
out.
I'm gonna revert to my. It depends on the
Amen. Amen to that.
dick.
Amen to that. I support that because look, it's both of them. If you could like really make me come, there we go. Like, I don't know, like, because I've seen many attractive people who do not have eyebrows, but their hair usually makes up for the fact that they don't have eyebrows, and you don't even notice. Like, I didn't even know anything about the Whitney Goldberg situation until a friend brought it up, and I was like, "Bitch, you lying? Like, I know she has eyebrows. I've always seen this woman with eyebrows." And then I went back and looked at all these pictures of her, and I'm just like, "Hold up, what's going on here? This is not the memories that I
I,
had."
it
But she's
doesn't.
still gorgeous.
It doesn't come up very often because how many times do you actually talk to someone about their eyebrows? But when it does, I always like, what eyebrows? Because I technically have a unibrow, so I only have one.
Right? In my
It's connected by like some peach fuzz, but it's connected.
right, and the other thing is, aren't eyelashes technically hair?
Yeah, but I do have a friend back home. She had that one condition where she like compulsively pulls out hair, so she
Oh,
didn't have any.
trichotillomania.
Yeah, yeah. The first time I heard that word, I'm like, you're just making shit up.
So now I'm just like, what would someone look like without eyelashes? Like, I don't think I will find the lack of
Sh-
eyelashes creepy.
She puts some sort of makeup on the very edge,
Oh,
so you can't
eyeliner.
tell. Yeah, maybe. So you can't really tell. She does it well enough to where it's not so obvious.
You see, you know what? That's why makeup does wonders. Makeup will forever do wonders. So I'm still okay with both of them, but it's like I don't know. Like now I'm thinking like excessively hairy. Is this all of the body? So are the eyelashes eyelashing beyond eyelash? And are the eyebrows forever eyebrowing? Hmm.
That's an interesting verb.
Like, are you comfortable with dating someone who has a monobrow? I know I'm okay with it, but I'm just curious.
um, Probably.
Hmm. Because I've seen some very attractive people with like the caterpillar brows, as they will say that they have, and it looks really good. So it's like I see no issue.
Yeah. I mean, really, it depends on their personality. Their physical traits don't matter as much.
Exactly.
But
I already know your answer for this one. Um, would you rather your partner found oral sex disgusting or was constantly obsessed with anal sex?
oh, okay. Constantly obsessed with anal
Exactly.
sex.
Like, I feel like that's a question that's for like
That's almost a
somebody,
requirement.
right? It's like this is not the group of people to be asking that question to. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, I would say we'll put a pin there. Do you have any last words that you would like to share with the audience before we close everything out?
Yes. Not this is just a weird little fact that I just thought of. Most people believe Homer Simpson's favorite movie is Look Who's Oinking, but it's actually Look Who's Oinking 3.
Wait, who?
Homer Simpson from The Simpsons.
Wait, no, I'm saying you said his favorite movie is what?
Most people think it's Look Who's Oinking, like pig,
Uh-huh.
but it's really Look Who's Oinking 3, the third installment.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Go away. We're just going to ignore that, people. If you're a fan of The Simpsons, there you go. That helps you out. You know, I have not seen The Simpsons in forever.
I haven't actually either.
Like people keep saying The Simpsons predicts a lot of things, but at the same time, I'm just like, or do they just make the comics it like do the little um video edits after a certain thing happens and then just put it in the context of okay, The Simpsons is here.
Yeah, I do remember seeing the episode where Lisa was president after Trump, and I think that's the same episode where Weird Al made his second appearance.
Really? You know, there's a Weird Al film on Netflix right now that I've been thinking about, or it might be
Oh, with Daniel Radcliffe.
like the documentary.
Yeah, yeah, Daniel Radcliffe plays Weird
Oh, is it good? Have you seen it?
Al. I haven't. I still want to. I have to pay for Netflix again
Sir, you need to find people so you can get their free version, like get it for free. Like I'm using my aunts.
I I could see if my mom has Netflix.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Like you might as well. It's like
They
they,
won't notice that there's an account using in Washington and one in Georgia. They
you
won't
know,
notice
they actually do
that.
notice it. That's the crazy thing. Is like, why are you paying this much fucking attention to what the hell is going on in my household? It's look, if 85 motherfuckers are on my damn Netflix account, let 85 motherfuckers be on my Netflix account. Okay? I have a huge ass family. It's not my fault that I have 40 kids and those 40 kids had two children. That's more than 80. No, that is, you know what? We're not doing math right now. Fuck it. What did I start the episode with talking about? Oh, you need to learn how to do math, and here I am fucking it up. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and I'm only doing maths of multiples of 360. And I think I just said maths.
You did, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyways, on that note, Thank you so much, Lucas, for joining me today on the podcast. You're greatly appreciated, good sir. All right, to the listeners out there, thank you all so much for listening to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. Just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful, you are worthy of happiness and joy, you are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all and see you next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.holiloquy.com. That's www.HEAUXLILOQUY.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.